Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is so exciting because I'm going to be doing a full face of Phytosurgence. Phytosurgence has some of my all-time favorite products in my collection. I love their makeup and skincare. They have some of my most used and most loved products in my collection. So yeah, I'm just so excited to dig into this makeup and this skincare and share with you all of the things I love about the brand. And I have something very exciting in front of me, which is their foundation prototype, which I've been using for the past week, almost 2 weeks. And I love, and I'm just so excited to put it on my face on camera for you. And yeah, I'm just very, very excited for this video. I don't know how many times I've said that, but it's true. And I would love for you to subscribe if you have not already. That would mean so much to me. And let's get into this Phytosurgence. Look at Kipo. I'm letting her chill up here while I film for the first time, and it's not going as planned. She's getting into everything and it's very frustrating. So alright, so before I start putting makeup on my face, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the brand and give you some insight into the brand. It is owned by two incredible people, Jason and Tom. I love them so much. If you're watching this, Jason and Tom, I love you. And Kipo says hi, Tom. And yeah, it's just run by the two of them. They do all the formulation and packaging and just they do everything, and it's incredible because it's just the two of them and they pump out so much product for all of us and such incredible formulas. I swear Jason, who formulates everything, is a makeup and skincare prodigy because the formulas that he creates are completely unique to the market. Just the quality is insane and nothing like I have in my collection, which is just so fun and makes me love them even more. And they're based out of Vancouver, Canada. They really tout conscious consumerism, and their brand is a conscious makeup creator. So all of those things are incredible as well, and they leave no box unchecked, which is really amazing. They're also inclusive shade-wise. A lot of smaller brands, which Phytosurgence is, really uses the excuse of being a smaller brand as a reason not to be inclusive with their shades, but they totally refused that. And when they came out with their blushes and their highlighters, they made them inclusive with light shades to deep shades and things in between, a really expansive shade range. And yeah, I just love them so much. It is Asian and LGBTQI owned as well, so we love supporting that. And they're also extremely inclusive in the process of creating their formulas for their makeup and skincare. You should totally follow them on Instagram. I'll link all of their websites and Instagrams down below, but they always are sharing on their stories about how they're creating product. They often ask for input. They are always showing stories of formulating. They're doing lives often of Jason showing how he mixes products and the color that he creates, and just the texture and everything cool and sciencey behind it he includes you in, which is so cool. And it's just so incredible to feel so involved in the brand. So yeah, that's just a little bit behind Phytosurgence and a few things about them. Okay, so let's get into their products. Let's start with skincare because they offer both skincare and makeup tools now, which is really cool. But I'll start with my favorite. So my favorite is the Verdant Forcefield Restorative Moisturizer. This has green tea, licorice root, centella, PHAs, allantoin, and panthenol. This is one of my all-time favorite moisturizers. When I first started using it, I thought that it had irritated my eczema, but it wasn't this at all. It was something completely different, and this actually really soothes my eczema and is very nourishing to the skin. It's really lightweight but deeply hydrating, and I love the smell of it. So it does have a scent. I wouldn't say it's a fragrance, it's a scent, and I think it's just like the natural scent of the ingredients, and it smells incredible. I definitely think it's the green tea in this. Really comes through. It's such a joy to use, and I absolutely love it. So that's my favorite skincare product from them. And then my second favorite is the PhytoSurgence Submerge. This is their hydrating facial serum, and I love this. This is my second bottle of it actually, and it just feels so good on the skin, and it really does hydrate my skin as well. I love putting this on before my moisturizer, and this has black algae extract and glycerin in it as a couple of the top ingredients. So love this so much as well. So these two are my favorite skincare products from the brand. Everyone loves this, but I do feel like it's still underrated for PhytoSurgence as a brand. So if you have not tried this moisturizer, I highly recommend. It's incredible. And then they have two others, the Moonlight Afterglow and then the Regenerative Facial Oil. I have not been able to use these enough to give you an opinion on them, but one of them is a brightening and resurfacing treatment, and the other is a lightweight botanical blend that is nourishing and revitalizing for the skin. So those are the two other skincare products. And now let's get into makeup. So I was lucky enough to receive one of their foundation prototypes because Jason and I have a very similar skin tone, so he offered to send this to me, and I obviously took him up on it because I'm not going to say no to a prototype of a foundation from PhytoSurgence. And I've been using this for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, and it is beautiful. So let's put it on. So as you can see, it's kind of a thicker liquid. It's this really beautiful, elastic, stretchy, bouncy, all the lovely stretchy words of a foundation, and it's really lightweight on the skin. It's so beautiful, and I personally like applying this with a brush. So I just take, let me zoom you in. So I just take this and apply it directly to my skin, and then I blend it out with a brush. And the brush I'm using is the BK Beauty 101 brush, and I am using this right now without a primer on, but I have used this with a primer before and I really enjoyed it. So I do like this with and without a primer, but it just spreads on the skin so beautifully. And I do have quite a bit of redness from eczema right now. I think it's from all of that Turkey Day food, so I'm just going to spread this across that so you can really see the coverage that this gives. It's a really lightweight, natural coverage, and it's extremely skin-like. So that's what I love the most about this product, because it does feel like something you can use every single day as your everyday base, and it's just gonna look really natural and beautiful on the skin. So you can really see that it evened my skin tone out, and it doesn't have full, like, complete coverage. It's definitely light to medium, but you can see that it did cover up the redness from my eczema and the uneven skin tone that I had before applying this, and it's just so beautiful and natural on the skin and blends right into it. Doesn't feel like anything on the skin either. Like, it feels completely lightweight and comfortable. And I would say that this has buildable coverage, but I would recommend not doing anything more than like 2 layers, because then it can look a little, not cakey, but just like it looks like there's makeup on your face, if you know what I mean. Any more than 2 layers, then it looks like you actually have something on your face, but 1 to 2 layers, it still looks very natural, very skin-like. So yeah, it's just like a beautiful product. And I have a lot of dryness right now from eczema flare-ups, and it is not emphasizing them at all. Like, I can obviously still see them through the skin and everything like that, but it doesn't look extra cakey and extra flaky, which often my foundation does. It just like completely emphasizes the dryness, but this doesn't do it at all, and I'm very pleased about that. Okay, next we have their Spectral Shines. These are their highlighters, and these are such a beautiful product, but I'm actually going to be using one of them as a bronzer today. So today I'm going to be using the shade Meteor Mist as a bronzer. This is one of their deeper highlighter shades in their Spectral shines, and I love using this as a really glowy, bronzy bronzer. And yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to be using this as my bronzer today. And for the bronzer, I'm going to be using one of their makeup brushes as well. So this is their Sky Fluff. This is specifically meant for their blushes, but I've been using their brushes for everything, and I really enjoy this for cream bronzers as well. So there you can see the Meteor Mist highlighter gave me a really beautiful, like, natural glow and bronze to my skin. It looks like nothing on my skin as well, which is incredible. Like, every time I use their products, it really impresses me, even though I've used them countless times. It's just incredible. So the next thing I'm going to use is probably one of, well, I use all of their products a lot, but I have pan on this one, like major pan. So this is their highlighter in the shade Dew of Dawn. As you can see, I love this so much. This was my like go-to highlighter in the summer when I wasn't wearing any makeup, and I would just put this on my nose and the high points of my cheeks, and it looks so beautiful on bare skin, like skin without any makeup on it. And it's just like a natural candlelit beautiful glow on the skin. It doesn't emphasize any texture. It just like looks so soft and beautiful on the skin, and I love the glow it gives me. So for that, I'm going to be using their Sky Buff, which is their highlighter brush. This one here specifically made for their highlighters. And I do like using both my finger and a brush for this, but for the purpose of this video and using a brush, I'm going to just swirl my brush in there pretty generously and coat all the bristles of the brush. And let's look at this beauty. And it just like, look at how candlelit and soft my nose looks now. And this is definitely one of those products that you want to really give it a good chance and trial before you decide you don't like it. The formula is unique, and I think that's why a lot of people are like, I guess like weirded out by this, because it's nothing like any other highlighter on the market. It has this kind of like clay-like texture when you touch it, so it kind of feels like clay before it's been like baked, if that makes sense, like clay that you would mold. Do you know what I mean? That's what it kind of feels like when you touch it. That's what gives this that creamy texture, but then when you put it on the skin, it dries to a powder and just doesn't budge on the skin, and is so beautiful and feels like absolutely nothing on the skin either. So I'm just gonna buff some highlight on this side as well, and you can just see how it just added that beautiful glow to the skin. On my nose, you can really see it from the contours of my nose, but like, it just is so unreal. And if you're someone that likes a really natural, beautiful glow on the skin and doesn't like any undercast, like as you can see, this doesn't have an undercast either. Like when I turn my head, you can definitely see the highlight, and Jason mentions this a lot in his lives and on his Instagram stories, but when you look straight ahead, you can't see like a streak of highlight on your face. You just see the glow when you turn your head to the light. And before I get too ahead of myself, I just want to describe the shades that I'm currently using. So I used Meteor Mist as my bronzer. That is the shade right here. And this is described as a neutral rich bronze for dark to deep skin tones. And here it is swatched on the back of my hand as well. And this is Dew of Dawn, which is described as a neutral peachy beige for light medium to medium tan skin tones. And there it is on the back of my hand as well. And you can just really see how candle lit this highlight is. It's nothing sparkly, there are no shimmers or glitters throughout. It's just a beautiful sheen on the skin, and it is so stunning, like just so gorgeous. I also have the shade Solar Sheen here, which is described as a radiant neutral gold for medium to tan skin tones. And this one is Divine Daylight, and this is a neutral beige shade that sits between Mirrored Moonlight and Dew of Dawn in their original Spectral Shine highlighters. And I actually want to put a little bit of this one on, so I'm going to. I'm just gonna rub my brush into here and apply a little bit more to my nose. Into my cheekbone. Okay, now that I have all of that highlight on, the next thing, oh, I'm gonna blend out this actually really quick. My eyes always crease so bad with concealer and foundation in it. Okay, continuing on. The next thing I'm going to talk about is their blushes. They have a multitude of shades and they're all so rich and beautiful. And the first shade I'm going to talk about today is the shade Fervor, which is this here. And it comes in this glass pot, just like a regular potted cream blush. And it's this really rich, kind of like purpley pink mulberry shade. I'll read you the shade description. So Fervor is described as a rich berry with a low white base. I think this is my new favorite shade, perchance. I don't know, I love them all, but this one is so beautiful. It's newer to me. I finally have all the blush shades, which is really special. And these blushes are a really beautiful, rich, moussey, airy texture. And you can just like barely dip your finger in there and you get a ton of color payoff. Like I'll dip a clean finger in there, barely, and you just get incredible color payoff. And they swatch really beautifully and they blend really beautifully on the skin as well. So those are the two swatches. This one's where I barely touched it and that one's where I dipped it in a little bit more, but color payoff is essentially the same. They're so easy to blend on the skin. So although it's really pigmented and it can look a little scary because of how much pigment comes off on your finger, it blends so beautifully and effortlessly on the skin. And I'll just dot a couple dots on my face and I'll go in with their brush and just show you how quickly this blends into the skin. It was so easy. And it's just like not as scary as you think it'd be, being so pigmented. And I just love this shade so much. I think it's a very beautiful, rich berry shade. So although this looks quite pigmented and deep in the pot, it just blends beautifully and seamlessly on the skin to give you a natural flush. Okay, the next shade here is the shade Singe, which is a bright neutral pink. And then we have the shade Ember, which is a coral tangerine. This one's also newer to me and it's so beautiful and rich. It's like a toasted guava shade. And then we have Fume, which is another favorite of mine. This is a dusty rose shade and this is one of my favorites. It's really neutral on my skin tone and I just love the way it blends out. It's that really kind of easy rose shade for my skin tone, so I love that one. And then we have Inferno, which I do think is my absolute favorite shade. It definitely is my most used shade. It was like one of the first shades I ever got from them. So I'd say this is my favorite. It's just like this beautiful, rich, they describe it as a brick-toned bronze, and I love that description. And then we have Swelter, a bright cranberry with low white base. This one's beautiful, as they all are. And then we have Simmer, which is a soft baby pink. I haven't gotten much use out of this one, but this one's super cute. And finally, in their core shades, we have the shade Smolder, which I also love. And this is a burnt apricot peach. And they actually have one more shade. This is the shade Molten, which is one of their limited edition shades, and they give back to a charity when you purchase one of these. So this is a spicy tangerine shade, which is like a proper orange and absolutely beautiful. This one's very beautiful on deeper skin tones. And if any of you want a full blush swatch of everything, like on my actual face, please let me know and I'd be happy to do that. I love all of these so much, so that would be actually really fun for me. So let me know and I can definitely do a PhytoSurgence blush swatch video for all of you, because yeah, I just feel like that would be helpful, especially if you have a skin tone similar to mine. Okay, moving on, I'm going to quickly do my brows and come right back. Okay, brows are on, and now let's move on to eyeshadow. So they have beautiful potted eyeshadows. They come in the same packaging as their blushes, so in that glass pot, and with their logo on the front and their shade on the back. And they have a core collection, which is their Flash Florescence eyeshadows, and these are more of a kind of like satin finish, kind of shimmer shade, and they work really well all over the lid. They're super long lasting. They do not budge or crease on the eyes whatsoever, and they come in 6 shades. So I'll start by talking about the shades that I wear the most, and they are the shades Amber Aura, which is a copper rose with a golden pink sheen. I love wearing this as a one and done shadow all over my lids. It's so beautiful. I think it's really flattering to my brown eyes as well. And then I also wear Potent Petal a lot. This is described as a soft cherry blossom pink with a slight hint of a champagne shimmer. So perfect everyday shade for the office, for sitting at home if you work from home, or if you're just like running errands and you want to pop a shade on the lids. I love this so much. It's very well loved, as you can see here. And I think that Amber Aura and Potent Petal are actually like my 2 favorite and most used shades of the bunch. But a couple others that I use a lot are Sunstress, which is described as a bronze gold with a small dose of rosiness. Like, that's beautiful. And then Wild Oak, which I think a lot of people really love as an everyday shade because it's kind of more bronzy. It's described as an antique neutral bronze with a golden reflect. So this is also a very beautiful eyeshadow shade all over the lid. And then additionally, they have the shades Velvet Leaf, which is a stony olive with a green reflect. Absolutely beautiful, also extremely beautiful on green eyes. And then they have the shade Deeply Rooted, a cool toned brown with a blue tone shift. And I'm just beginning to fall in love with this shade. I'm going to be using this today because I created a look the other day to see Trevor Noah and I fell in love, and I used only PhytoSurgence Flash Fluorescence eyeshadows for the look and I absolutely loved it, so I'm going to be using that today. And then they have another collection within the Flash Fluorescence. It's kind of like a baby or sister collection, and it is their In Bloom collection. And this one has 4 shades, all super beautiful, kind of like glitter toppers for the eyes. These are described as a set of multi-dimensional shimmers and textured eyeshadows that are siblings to our cult classic Flash Fluorescence cream shadow line. So these are kind of like glitter toppers, at least that's how I usually use them. They're so stunning. The shades are incredible, and I shall show you each of them. So the first is the shade Wild Wisteria, which is a vivid lilac with indigo and purple tone shimmers scattered throughout, pearlescent shimmer finish. That one's so pretty and such a fun one and done shadow as well. And then we have Orchid Overload, which is a translucent based shade with pink, purple, and silver shimmer topper finish. That one's one of my favorites. I love popping Orchid Overload on top of a matte shadow base, and it just pops the eye so much and really just like completes the look. And then we have the shade Defiant Dahlia, which is described as a rich, deep brown shade with violet undertones and neutral gold shimmers scattered throughout. Pearlescent shimmer finish is that one. I'm going to be using that one today as well on my eyes, and use that with Deeply Rooted. And then we have Fractal Freesia, which is a translucent base shade with neutral gold shimmer. This one's considered a shimmer topper finish. And like Orchid Overload, I love using this one as a shimmer topper as well on any like matte base look. So for the base, I'm going to use Deeply Rooted all over my eye. And these are beautiful with a finger or with a brush. What I usually like to do is pat it down with my finger and then blend it out with a brush. So that's what I'll be doing today. And what I love about these shadows is they're so complex and dimensional. Like I mentioned before, so many of them are really perfect one and done shadows because of the complexity of the shades. They just offer so much to the eye that one shadow really is enough for a complete look. But then you can layer them on top of each other and just get a stunning, complex, dimensional look as well, and I love that. And another thing that's incredible is how long lasting they are. You really do not need to worry about them creasing or fading away on the eyes throughout the day. So as you can see, I just put Deeply Rooted all over my eye, and you can already tell how complex and dimensional it is. It like looks deeper on my lid, adding that dimension, and then lightens as I get up towards the crease and whatnot. And man, they're just so beautiful. As I mentioned, Jason is a formulator prodigy, and I'm just gonna build that up. And I'm just gonna drag it onto my lower lash line as well. So this is Deeply Rooted by itself on my lids, and it looks like I used multiple shadows on my eyes. At least that's what I think it looks like. It looks like I used like a purple in the crease and then like a deeper shade on the lids and whatnot, but truly is just one shadow. Okay, next I'm going to go into Defiant Dahlia. This is part of their In Bloom collection. And I'm going to place this mostly just on my lid and on the outer corner as well for a little bit of shimmer and depth. And you can see it kind of added like a shimmer to the eye. And then finally, I'm going to take Fractal Freesia, which is this beautiful shimmery shade, a shimmer topper from their In Bloom collection. I'm going to place this on the inner portion of my lid. And that is the eye look. I think it's so pretty and so fun. It's perfect for a night out, which is what I wore it for. And it's just so sparkly. It looks beautiful in like the night lights, and I love it so much. And it just lasts all night long as well, or all day long whenever you decide to wear it. And just 3 shadows and you get like a really fun, deep, moody look on the eyes, and I really, really love it. I do think I want to add a little bit more blush, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a little bit more of Fervor. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of Fervor to the lips as well. I'm going to quickly put on some mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so mascara is on. I used the Maybelline Lash Stiletto, and Phytosurgence doesn't have any mascara or brow products, and that's why I did both of those off camera. But they are soon going to come out with, I think they're like matte pigments, kind of like their eyeshadows that they currently have, but in a matte shade, that are going to be multi-use. And I often see Jason use them in his brows and as like contour and as an eyeshadow as well. So those are going to be coming from them, but they currently don't have any eyebrow or mascara products, and they also don't have a concealer. And the foundation is a prototype, which is coming out, I believe, sometime next year. I'm not sure exactly when, but it's definitely in the making. And they had a prototype for me, so hopefully it'll come out sooner rather than later, but I'm very excited for that. And yeah, that is the completed look. I think it looks so pretty. Full face of Phytosurgence, only 3 shadows on the eyes, but it looks like there are way more, which I think is so cool. The blush and the lip color look so pretty together for a monochromatic moment, and I think it really suits the eye color as well. And yeah, I'm just so pleased with all of my Phytosurgence products. I have so much fun wearing all of them, and they look truly so beautiful and seamless on the skin. And I just want to give you a little skin update because can you believe how good this looks? It looks unreal, and the highlight from the Spectral shines is beautiful as well. It just looks so skin-like. I can't get over it. Yeah, so that is the final look. So that is the completed full face of Phytosurgence. I love how the makeup turned out. I think the lip and cheek look really good with the eye look, and my skin looks incredible. It looks so skin-like and beautiful, and I'm just always so impressed every time I use their products. They really blow me away, and I'm so excited to see where the brand goes over the next couple of years, and I'm so excited to be right there supporting them and watching them bloom and flourish. And yeah, and remember, like, when you're buying Phytosurgence, you are supporting a small business literally run by 2 people, just run by Jason and Tom, LGBTQI and Asian owned, so you're supporting all of that. And yeah, just like one of my absolute favorite brands ever. Incredible products that speak for themselves, that perform amazingly, and unlike any of my other products, I love them so much. But if you have any questions about the products, please let me know. Again, I'd be happy to do that blush swatch video for you if you are interested in that. Please let me know in the comments down below. Do you have any Phytosurgence products? What are they? Let's chat about our love for the brand. And yeah, I'm really happy to have done this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. Make sure to leave any comments or questions down below. I might have already said that, but yeah, thank you again for joining me on this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!